RMBI gene, here to take you on another level and new horizons. See clear, no Visine. Motivational.
Hey everybody, my name is Reggie Maddox, and I am the guy that you hear talking and hosting the Simply Straight Talk podcast. So make sure you check that out, and make sure, please, give me a like and subscribe so you can see when other videos and also when podcasts come out. So I hope you enjoy it. They're great podcasts. They're all about life lessons. They're all about things we all go through in life. And I try to make it relatable so you feel like you're talking to somebody who understands what you're going through, because everything I talk about is stuff that I've actually went through. So with me being an introvert, I am sharing a lot of me that I normally do not share. But anyway, hey, thank you for joining me for this quick conversation. But one thing I want to talk about is, right now I just want to talk about loneliness. And I just thought about this because I'm single. I've been single for about, 7 years now, 7-8 years. Yeah, 7, yeah. No. 6 years, about 5-6 years. Yeah, actually 6-7 years I've been single. Man, it's been a boring life. I ain't gonna say that. Hold on. No, but seriously, about 6-7 years I've been single. And when you're single and you get to the point in your life to where you want more. It is not just about sex. It's not just about looks. It's not just about what you can do for me. It's more so about, can you stimulate me intellectually? Can you offer more? Because I got a saying that I always say on the podcast, and I know some people hate it, but from a male perspective, can you bring more to the table than a maid or a prostitute? Which means, don't tell me you can cook. Don't tell me, that I'm going to give you sex, my body, because you get to a point in life to where you want more than that. And don't get me wrong, you want that. That's like a little bit of extra icing on the cake. But it's not the same as having somebody that understands that they can speak to you on different levels, about different platforms, about different things. Somebody who can listen to you without judging you. Somebody who can listen to you and knows how to encourage you and understands that they don't have to have that answer. Somebody where you can have a moment of, man, I'm tired. I'm just tired of I can do this. And they don't call you weak. They encourage you, and you can do the same for that person. But the thing about when you're lonely and you go through periods of loneliness, because some people say, like, I'm not lonely, I'm alone. We all experience times of loneliness when we feel like we're by ourselves. We feel like we need somebody. We feel like we need somebody to touch us. We need somebody to hold us. We want somebody to sit across from us, look us in the eyes and talk to us. We want to hear a voice. We want to lay in the bed and somebody cuddle up next to us. Somebody to actually engage in life with us. You want that. So we all experience a period of loneliness, but we have to be careful, because sometimes loneliness can be a dangerous place if you don't know how to bring yourself out of it, because you will find yourself lowering your standards. You will find yourself lowering, you will find yourself accepting things that are not good for you for convenience, the convenience of somebody to talk to, the convenience of somebody who you may say, who may like you. Because here's what I'm trying to say, because I know I kind of bubbled that. When you go through a period of loneliness and loneliness begins to set in and overtake you, you're going to reach a point where you feel like, okay, I don't like smokers, but he or she smokes, that's okay. I can deal with it for now. Maybe they'll stop smoking. That person drinks. They drink a lot, but maybe they'll slow down. Maybe I can do things where we don't have to drink. Or you'll go through a period of where, he likes to go to the club every night, or she likes to hang out with the girls, or she smokes weed. That's okay. It's legal in some states. Maybe they won't do it around me. You start accepting things that you shouldn't accept. because you're feeling like you really just need that companionship. And when you get to a period of loneliness, it brings you to a period of weakness. And that period of weakness can sometimes cause you to make very bad decisions that you may end up regretting. Now, sometimes, yes, it can end up be a situation to where you just go out and decide whoever comes along, that's it. You know, you can end up having sexual intercourse with somebody that you really don't want to be with, but it was just for the moment. You know, you can end up going out and getting in trouble. You can end up going out and making a dumb decision. You know what I'm saying? You can end up being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So loneliness is something that you have to learn to control when you're single. You have to learn to encourage yourself. And that can even be a challenge too, because sometimes you run out of ways to encourage yourself. You run out of ways to motivate yourself. Now, for extroverts, you really draw off other people's energy. So for an extrovert, it's more like, if I just get around a crowd of people, go hang out with a group, I'm good. But for introverts, you know, we're not really good with the crowd. You know, if you got a close friend, then you got somebody you can talk to and rely on. Like me, I don't really have anybody that I'm close with, friends like that I just call like da 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 da. You know, so everything I kind of keep inside, sort out inside. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to kind of remind yourself that if you're an introvert, you're going to have to work a little harder. And sometimes people say, well, you know, with an introvert, once you get alone, you can revitalize yourself. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it gets harder to revitalize yourself. It's like when you hear a song, the same song over and over and over. You may like the song, but eventually you're going to be like, oh my God, I've heard this before. So it's the same thing when it comes to dealing with and addressing the issue of feeling lonely. You know, you have to be careful that you don't isolate yourself too much, and you have to find a way to free your mind, be it with music, be it with work, be it with movies. If you have somebody that you can talk to, do that. I believe in God, and normally that's the way I end up bringing myself back, is turning to the Word of God. But you have to do what works for you. I hope and pray that, you know, you have that, you utilize that as well. But everybody does their own thing. But loneliness can be very dangerous, and oftentimes people don't recognize that when somebody is at an extreme low and they're very lonely, and they're at the point to where people are just constantly rejecting them. You know, it can make a person get to the point to where they feel like suicide is an option. They feel like, you know, they don't matter. Life doesn't matter. Nobody will miss them. Nobody cares about them, you know, and that's a tough spot to be in, but it's the reality of how some people are living their life right now. Some people really feel that way. I mean, think about this. I turned my phone off for almost a month. I got no voicemail, no messages, nothing. Not one person. I mean, even my social media, I did not do anything on my social media. And not one person sent me a message that, hey, I ain't heard from you. Is everything okay? You know, you haven't posted anything. Think about people that you know, but maybe have you not heard from them in a while? Especially if you know they're single. You know they don't do very much. And oftentimes, we assume that a person is doing good and they're not. Everybody doesn't wear their feelings on the sleeve. Everybody doesn't put how they feel out there. You know, you heard the poem The Mask by Paul Dunbar. All of us wear a mask. And sometimes a person is ashamed that they're lonely. You know, they don't want to tell people that I hate being alone. I hate feeling empty, you know. When all of their friends are with somebody and they don't have anybody, or, you know, they tried a couple times, they've been hurt, they've been rejected. So you have to realize that loneliness is something that not only the person who's dealing with it needs to be mindful about how long you stay in that loneliness mindset, but people who call themselves your friend need to be mindful of that as well. Whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text message, you know, it's important to send out positive messaging, no matter how you do it. Even if it's just going out for a quick lunch or a quick drink, even if it's just going for a quick walk, you know, it's something to let a person know that you're thought about. You do matter. You know, if you go on YouTube and you look up Dean Winchester, and he has a lot of basically a montage. I knew I destroyed that word. There are a lot of videos where people have just taken scenes from the movie and his lines and put them into a video, and you'll be surprised. There are thousands of comments where people are saying, I understand his hurt, his pain. So many people can relate to the pain of this TV character, but they probably never tell anybody that they're with or anybody who knows them. So think about that when you're dealing with loneliness. So if you're that person dealing with loneliness, start researching ways to find out what motivates you, what makes you feel strong, what can get you out of that mindset and back up again. And the same thing when it comes to, you know, a person. If you feel like somebody's going through loneliness or somebody's hurting, you know, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't feel ashamed just to say hi. Ask if they're okay just to ask, but don't leave them to always handle it on their own. So I hope this was helpful. I don't want this to be too long, but I just wanted to touch on that, man, because that was really on my mind today. So from a single man to all my single people out there, you know what I'm saying, if you can relate to this, I hope this helps. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell so notification so you know when the next one comes out. And leave a comment, man. Let's talk about it. What do you think about it? Do you know people that are lonely? Do you think about people that are lonely? Are you lonely? How do you deal with it? What are some information that you would like to share with others who are going through it? All right. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the Simply Straight Talk podcast. New shows drop every Friday. See you then.
Your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.